The NFL draft is just over a week away, and there's lots of mock drafts out there right now, and plenty of them expect the Ravens to use a first-round pick on wide receiver. Two of the popular predictions to Baltimore are Zay Flowers from Boston College and Jordan Addison from USC. Both of those receivers are somewhat undersized guys in terms of what you would want in a prototypical wide receiver. Flowers is 5'9", 180 pounds, and Addison is a leaner guy at 6 foot, 175 pounds. So how will that affect their draft stock? We had Ravens Director of College Scouting, David Blackburn, stop by the lounge, and he shared some really interesting insight about how the NFL game has changed in terms of evaluating the wide receiver position. I asked him about the comparisons between Zay Flowers and former Ravens Steve Smith Sr. And here's what he had to say about how the evaluation process has changed in terms of wide receiver over the last 10, 15 years.
I think it also just speaks to where the game's at right now, because back then, smaller guys weren't necessarily coveted. It's just kind of like the NBA, where it's all about the big men. Back in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Now it's space, it's pace, it's shooting, it's skill. So like smaller guys, have more of a lane. And this guy, what makes him unique is that even though he's like a shorter guy, he doesn't play small. He plays physical. He can go up and tack at the high point. He can play through contact. He can break tackles. And the thing I think that separates him, which, again, you can include Steve in this category, especially guys that are smaller that are, number ones or big-time playmakers, they have that mentality. They have that playmaker mentality, that dog mentality, and how we describe it, that Raven mentality, where I want the ball, I want to make plays, I love the physical aspect of the game, and I'm that guy, and I'm gonna come through it because I've been doing it all my life, So and you can't fake that, and he's got that.
So just a really interesting response from him, and I can't wait to see if the Ravens end up using their first-round pick on one of those receivers. Now, that episode of the Lounge Podcast will drop tomorrow morning. It'll be in your feed right when you wake up, wherever you get your podcast. But just make sure you go and subscribe to the Lounge if you haven't done so already. So that's it from me on Final Drive. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow.